TXW fans, welcome back to the action. We're here live in Columbus, Ohio. We had a great show so far, but it's not over yet. And coming out ringside right now is Brian McLeod. He's here set to compete one-on-one with Jack the Immortal Strider here tonight. Brian McLeod still looking confident after suffering a loss from Soulless. You heard Soulless speaking earlier tonight about Brian McLeod, calling him a coward. Well, I don't think Brian McLeod is a coward. He did what he had to do to win that championship belt, and he overcame the monster. Brian McLeod still confident. And Brian McLeod has been officially drafted for Over Sacrifice. What a big matchup we have set here. Brian McLeod and Jack Schreier, these two super heavyweights going one-on-one. It should be a big super brawl between these two giants. The willpower of Brian McLeod and the strength of Jack Schreier is something that will have to meet an end. This should be a great one-on-one bout, and we're about to witness right now. The immortal Jack Schreier coming down ringside right now. The new and current Mr. Money in the Bank. He's the official Mr. Money in the Bank after survival of the sickest, competing in a one-on-one TLC match with Shannon Silvera and beating him in an intense TLC match. And Jack Schreier finally getting his revenge over Shannon Silvera and evening the odds. Jack Schreier as Mr. Money in the Bank can cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase anytime he wants before Final Testimony 3. He can cash in on any championship, anytime, anywhere. Jack Schreier has been officially drafted over Animosity as we saw tonight at the draft. And Jack Schreier having more of a cheerful walk and more of a confident look as he is the current Mr. Money in the Bank. Can we see an era of Jack Schreier coming upon us soon? We'll have to wait and see until he cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase. But for now, we're going to see Brian McLeod and Jack Schreier go one-on-one in this great super heavyweight matchup. This night's far from over, ladies and gentlemen. We still have a whole show left for you. Right now, we're watching Jack Schreier and Brian McLeod going one-on-one. This match starting out with Jack Schreier and Brian McLeod rocking up, and Jack Schreier bringing down that Sambo suplex. Jack Schreier moving away, waiting for Brian McLeod to get up, showing Jack Schreier showing somewhat respect to Brian McLeod. Now Brian McLeod grappling Jack Schreier and bringing him down that back suplex. Can Brian McLeod pick up a win here and gain his momentum back after suffering that loss at the draft? The Soulless losing, Brian McLeod losing his International Championship after only a 1-week reign. If Brian McLeod beat Jack the Immortal Strider here tonight, that'll be a huge momentum push of going back on the right track for a championship belt. And this match is close, going back and forth. And Brian McLeod striking Jack Schreier, and Jack Schreier getting reversed by Brian McLeod. And look at the power of Brian McLeod picking up Jack Schreier. But no, Jack Schreier catching him from behind and turning into a swinging neck breaker. These two reversing each other back and forth between Brian McLeod and Jack the Immortal Strider. And that throwback from behind by Brian McLeod. Brian McLeod picking up Jack Schreier, throwing him into the turnbuckle. What can Brian McLeod be looking to do? But no, Jack Schreier reversed him again. Brian McLeod reversing Jack Schreier. These two keep reversing each other. And Brian McLeod, look at the power behind that belly-to-belly suplex, bringing him down. And Jack Schreier not looking good right now. Brian McLeod with a headlock to Jack Schreier. And a Sambo suplex of his own, bringing Jack the Immortal Strider down to the mat. Jack Schreier is up in the knee to the gut to Brian McLeod, punching. And now Jack Schreier brawling against Brian McLeod. And now Jack Schreier with the offense and the knee face buster. Brian McLeod reversing Jack Schreier The jabs from Brian McLeod, and Strider reversing Brian McLeod again. And the combination of his own. And Jack Strider going off the ropes looking for something but misses it. And Brian McLeod taking him down with that clothesline. Brian McLeod throwing Jack Strider in the ropes looking for something. And no, he missed what he was looking for. Jack Strider locking up from behind. Brian McLeod saying no. These two are so on top of their game right now. And Jack Strider with that chop block from behind, bringing Brian McLeod down. Brian McLeod with that boot from out of nowhere to Jack Strider. That has got to knock Jack Strider down a notch. Jack Strider getting picked up in the body slam from behind by Brian McLeod. And a clothesline by Jack Strider. Getting his offense again. Another one. The power behind Jack Strider and Brian McLeod is amazing. And now Jack Strider calling Brian McLeod to get up. And Jack Strider going high risk, top rope, and going over to that clothesline takedown from the top rope, bringing Brian McLeod down. Jack Strider locking up, bringing him in the center of the ring. What is Jack Strider looking to do? In that tilt-a-whirl side slam by Jack the Immortal Strider. Jack Strider, a knee, the back of Brian McLeod's skull. Brian McLeod trying to fight back, and a kick in the gut, a combination, an elbow. And Jack Strider getting locked up by Brian McLeod, wrenching his arm. And Brian McLeod bringing him down to that power slam. And no, rope break. Referee caught the rope break by Brian McLeod. And Jack Strider reversing Brian McLeod. And Jack Strider looking for something. And that powerful choke slam. The count behind that. Could that be it? 1, 2. No. Brian McLeod still fighting after that devastating choke slam by Jack Strider. Jack Strider is dominating right now. Jack Strider going high risk on top of the ropes, looking for something. That big elbow to the chest of Brian McLeod. And a kick in the back. Jack Strider having this match in his hands right now, and now wrenching Brian McLeod's legs behind his back, and the power, and that must got to be hurting Brian McLeod right now. Brian McLeod not looking good, and not that flying clothesline taking Brian McLeod down a notch. Jack Strider looking for something, and those jabs again of Brian McLeod. He's throwing him into the ropes. And Jack Strider, the combinations brawling with Brian McLeod, and one big powerful right punch by Jack the Immortal Strider. Jack Strider is dominating. This could be the end of Brian McLeod soon. Brian McLeod not looking good. He's up, and Brian McLeod, what is he going to do? Combination of big clothesline, taking Jack the Immortal Strider down the mat. Brian McLeod locking up. What is he looking to do? Brian McLeod behind that full Nelson slam, bringing Jack Strider down. Brian McLeod gaining his offense again. Now stomping away at the chest of Jack Strider. Brian McLeod is turning this match around for himself. Stomping on the legs of Jack Strider. Brian McLeod. Jack Strider's up and looking for that clothesline, bringing Brian McLeod down. Strider is up, looking for something, and that kick to the back of Brian McLeod. Jack Strider turning things around for himself now. What is Brian McLeod going to do? And Strider missing that boot, but that's not going to be enough. Strider still attacking that European uppercut, and Brian McLeod just kicked Jack Strider in the face. Strider missing what he's looking for. Strider now in the turnbuckle, getting turned around, looking for something, and the strikes from Brian McLeod in the corner.